Oh man.
That's what I always said, that if I had a son, I'd name him Hallow, just to do it.
Hal, and the middle initial O. Like
Yeah,
that.
in the middle initial O, then he'd be
Yep.
Halloween.
There's not enough
Yep,
Hals. We need more Hals.
that's the joke these two decided to start off with today.
Well, it's better than talking about other things at the moment.
No,
middle
man.
Orpheus, Odell, not Odell.
Yeah, just everybody knows
sick.
what the big news is, what we're going to talk about mainly. I had the, I don't know. You guys go ahead and say something real quick. I'm looking something up. Go ahead. What do you think about Odell leaving? And then I'll follow up.
Barry.
Ah, man, it's just so ugly, man. Right? The way we were just so excited when he came here, and it just never panned out. I guess the drama hopefully is over. That's the good part. But what a bitch move, to just go to the coach with that crap. Don't go online. Come on. You made that mistake before too. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan Brown, first commenter, hashtag cut OBJ. Looks like that'll be a reality either later tonight or tomorrow sometime.
It is official, but he can't be claimed off of waivers until Monday.
Oh, well, my only hope is that he is picked up by the Detroit Lions, who are first on the waiver wire. They're the ones that have to say pass, right? They have to say pass, and then the next team can pick them up.
Yeah.
And the next team to pick them up that would have that opportunity, Miami Dolphins, another stellar team. Now, obviously, my hope would be that he falls all the way down to number 4 and goes to Jacksonville.
Yeah. I don't wish him bad. I really don't. I just think this was the official statement from the Browns today. It said, after careful consideration, internal discussions, and conversations with Odell and his representatives, we've determined that it is in the best interest of all parties involved that Odell no longer play for the Cleveland Browns. We appreciate all his efforts and contributions while in Cleveland, but we've just reached a point where it is best that we move forward as a team without Odell. We are finalizing the process of granting Odell his release, and we wish him well as he continues his career. I hope he jaded the XFL. Yeah, dude. Here's the thing, man, and I told, I don't know. This is something that I think eventually both sides had to just admit that it wasn't working. I mean, it just wasn't working, and I think there is a legitimate reason for that. And I think that, like, I've came to this conclusion from seeing that video and hearing Dustin Fox's explanation of that video, in saying that it's not all what it appears to be, as though the Odell was just open all the time and Baker couldn't find him. And it's more of the fact that, yeah, Odell might have been open all the time, but was he in the right spot? Was he where he was supposed to be, that Baker would have expected him to be, to see that he was open? And the answer is most of the time no, because Odell Beckham Jr. is and has always been known as an improvisational wide receiver, and that's not who Baker Mayfield is as a quarterback. Baker Mayfield is a precision and timing quarterback, and that's what would happen a lot of the times. That's why you saw the stat that Baker threw more interceptions when targeting Odell than he threw touchdowns. And it's because Odell would break off a route and run the route that he wanted to run instead of running the route he was supposed to. So it would look like Baker threw an interception to a part of the field where nobody was at. And it was because that's where he was supposed to be most of the time. Yeah. But I think Odell could be a good wide receiver still, with a quarterback like I'd hate to see him go there, but with like Patrick Mahomes that likes to play more of that like backyard style of football, I mean that's what Odell's good at. But when you're in an offense that Baker Mayfield likes to run and that Kevin Stefanski likes to run, which is mainly based on timing and throwing to a spot instead of throwing to wide receiver, then it's to that point that it's to the point where he just isn't a fit for the team. I mean, and I think that's clear because we saw and everybody couldn't understand why the offense looked better whenever Odell wasn't playing. And I think that's why is because
well, that's an interesting it's an interesting point you bring up, because now everyone is going to get the answer to that question. You know, is Baker better without OBJ? And they point to last year, you know.
yeah.
But hey, look, this is right about the same time that shit happened last year. So we'll see where we go from the rest of this for the rest of the season. I mean, you know, when you think about it, we could be 12-4. Will we? Probably not.
No.
But
I
mean,
would argue though, why aren't you playing to those strengths though? If that's you want to run routes with everyone, timing routes, let it be the rest of the team. If that's his strength, then you need that guy that can get open on his own and improvise. I mean, you know how many times? I mean,
but that's not, that's not the system, though. I mean, it's just.
I'm with Barry putting out that video and then having LeBron put out a tweet like that. That's just a bitch move.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
You know, that's a bitch move. He could have gone in and said something. I mean, when that video came out, you didn't hear OBJ saying, "Hey, Dad, I didn't ask you to put that out." He didn't go to the media and say, I didn't ask my dad to put that out. That doesn't need to be out there.
No, and
he needs to pull that down.
Yeah, and that's why I thought that he was probably trying to get released, because he could have easily told his dad to take it down. He could have told his dad, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but this is not cool. I'm gonna have to throw you under the bus on this one. It's for my career."
Yeah.
Because
I mean, stay out of that shit.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what if my mom or my dad put up a video of every time one of the guys that works for me fucking fucked some shit up, you know, and then my bosses see it and I'll be like, yeah, you know, I told that guy to do that and he didn't do it. So there you go. So
yeah,
I'm with Willie, you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle himself. I'm with Willie. Hey, shout out Willie. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that, but I think that that's one of the reasons why it's not only that he's not in the spots that he's supposed to be in, but in doing that, he's also taking a wide receiver out of the system that should be there.
Yeah.
So when you have Donovan Peoples-Jones in there instead of Odell Beckham Jr., then you have a receiver that is running those timing routes that he was supposed to be running and that knows the playbook inside and out. And that's why you see the offense look smoother whenever he's not playing in the game. That's just my opinion, but I really started to realize that whenever you saw that video and kind of heard Dustin Fox is somebody who wasn't ever a great player, but he did play cornerback in the league. Talk about why he appeared to be open as much as he did, and not necessarily.
I think the funniest part is the statement that you read from the Browns that said, after what was it? Serious consideration, you know, there was no serious consideration. They saw that Baker walked in and went, "I want that fuck out," and then they were like, "Okay." So, I mean, seriously, how do you do that? Why don't you just, you know what, just be a man and go in and just say, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna play anymore. You guys need to release me. You had a chance to trade me, but you know what? You got to let me go."
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of consideration, and I think the Browns probably, whenever they called him in on it, were probably gave him the ultimatum of, "Hey, dude, you're gonna have to release a statement denouncing this, or we're gonna have to let you go." Like that's basically like, and I can't believe he didn't denounce it because honestly, this is his second time that a team
Oh yeah,
a team got rid of him for being a distraction. I mean, so it looks bad on him. I mean, you can turn it around though. There's been guys that have turned it around in the league. Brandon Marshall was one of them. He had some mental problems. But you had and then you have guys that never turned it around. Like even though he stayed with one team the whole time, Des Bryant. That's the problem he had with the Cowboys, and that's why he never got picked up again because
but he had a very lucrative MMA career.
yeah, yeah. Willie. That's what we were talking about earlier. How he's an improvisational route runner, not
absolutely ridiculous.
Is that how that works, though? Like you said, Scott, is that how that works? There's a waiver order now. It has to go from the bottom of the.
Yeah. There's an order to the waiver wire, and I mean, basically, those teams have to pass on him for the next team to say, okay, I'll take him.
Yeah, and that's
records, last year's records. Is that what it's based on?
No, this year's the current records, and that starts on Monday.
Right. And so right now that's Detroit, Miami, Houston, Jacksonville, New York, Washington football team, New York Giants, who, oh my God, how apropos would it be if he went back to the Giants, right?
I mean,
what's this question that Dan Brown has? What legit QB will want to play with OBJ after this, though? Patrick Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson,
Stanford. What's the guy that got traded out of Detroit? Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford would.
I don't know. I think he's more of a timing guy too. I would say guys like Patrick Mahomes, maybe Josh Allen is one of those. Like, unfortunately,
they're at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, but I honestly think he's going to end up with the Saints if nobody at the top of the waiver order claims him.
Why wouldn't they want him though? I mean, they're going to restructure his deal so that whatever team he goes to, he's going to be paid the league minimum.
Right, and they tried trading for him at the deadline. So
right.
I don't think he's going to fall past New Orleans.
Well, so that's why I say if they restructure his deal so that he gets paid the veteran league minimum, then I mean that makes it even more probable that he'll go to one of the top teams on the waiver wire. I think, because I would just pick him up just to pick him up. At that point, what do you have to lose? He's going to go somewhere else afterwards.
The only team I really, really don't want him to go to is the Chiefs.
I don't care if he goes to the Chiefs. I don't want him to go to Baltimore because last thing I really want to hear is I Am Chad coming at me every goddamn week about the Ravens. Hey.
Well, yeah, because that's all Lamar Jackson does is run
improvise.
Around until he sees somebody open and throw the ball. Like that's all he does.
Where are the Falcons on that list? They're probably pretty low, huh?
Yeah, I don't think he would go to any teams with like a pocket passer. He might, but I don't think he would do well there. I mean, I'm sure OBJ doesn't have the same opinion of himself as we have. Like, he probably thinks he is a great route runner and whatnot. But it's obvious on the one interception Baker threw to OBJ this year that he threw the Odell cut to the inside and Baker threw it to the outside, and it looked like Baker threw it to a spot where there was nobody within 10 yards except for a defender, and it's because OBJ cut off the route and ran his own fucking route.
Let me tell you something. Nobody runs the routes I make up better than me. I mean, that's a fact. I can go out there and run a route right now. Nobody's going to cover me because they don't know where I'm going to go. I mean,
Yeah, he could be a Raider.
When he makes a burger like Scott runs a route.
Do what?
Your burgers, man.
Your wing sauce.
That's my secret wing sauce I put on it.
Make me one of those, man. That looked good.
It did look good.
That was.
It did. It comes with some of those defib paddles, so that when you're done eating it, it can shock you back to life.
Oh man, I I don't know, man. I think it's gonna light a fire under the team. I really do. I think being 4-4 is gonna light a fire under the team. Like I don't
Man,
think
dude, they couldn't get up for the Steelers game. They
Well, dude,
they let that happen.
I'm sorry,
That
but
happened.
that was on Stefanski, man. There's no reason in a game that close why you would only run the ball 19 times. I mean, that is insane. The whole game was close, and we ran the ball 19 fucking times. Really?
I agree. I think
mean,
they're
it's-
playing. Yeah, it's like they were the strategy was to get all our hurt players involved or something. Everybody was injured,
Yeah.
man. Like all the guys that were like Jarvis fumbling. That's not like him.
Yeah, dude.
then-
Just give it to Chubb,
Harrison.
and if Chubb wasn't 100%, give it to Dearness Johnson.
I'm
Right.
pissed with Harrison too. Harrison,
He's shown that he can run the ball, especially against a team like the Steelers.
Yeah.
Such a sad day.
I don't want to laugh at that goddamn Dan Brown.
Oh my God.
Very, very, very tragic thing that happened, and I'm smiling while I'm saying that, and it pisses me off.
Oh, Brian wants to hear some OBJ takes. I will say this,
Oh,
you know,
You're gonna
he
have
could
to
have picked up the phone and told his dad to
not.
take that post down. He could have fucking called Baker and said, "Hey, look, I didn't have any part of that. That's my dad being my dad." You
Yeah.
know,
but
totally
he didn't,
get that.
which is why like he
He
clearly
didn't.
wanted off the team. Yeah.
Right. Then he says this whole, "Well, I want to come to practice." Do you really? Is that really what you want? Do you really want to come in there and go out there and run routes for Baker at that point? You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he did. It was all a show. It was a show. It was a sham. It was a facade, a false front, if you will. I'm filling time while John looks at his phone. So-
Well, I'm looking because I've been looking all day for this to come, and 2 hours ago, Jarvis Landry tweeted one of the best teammates I've ever played with in my life at OBJ. But he didn't say anything that he like thinks they shouldn't have got him or anything. You know, like it's so I don't know. It's that is one thing that I think why the team did this with careful consideration, as they said in the statement, is because they had to be careful with it because they had to make sure that it didn't piss off Jarvis Landry. I think that's one of the things that he's the heartbeat of the team, and they had to make sure that he was okay with it before they.
I tell you what, in business, you don't want to hire people that are related.
Yeah, but are you surprised like Jarvis didn't kind of keep him here a little more, or like? I mean, is there almost to let him go?
I think that Jarvis probably did everything that he could possibly do, and that it didn't help. I mean, really, like Odell is just he's a diva wide receiver. He just is. And he's not, Jarvis might say he's the best teammate I've ever played with. I don't agree with that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the best teammates don't do shit like this. It just,
well, that doesn't upset Jarvis, just getting rid of him then? I mean, you're saying.
Yeah. But you know what? If Jarvis sits back and takes a look at what happened, I mean, he should know that's not how you act. You know, that's not what you do.
Yeah.
If I put out a video telling out on the internet for all of social media saying how my boss didn't promote me for all these open positions that were out there, that I've been overlooked, I mean, they're not going to keep me in my job. They're going to let me go. Oh, and by the way, happy birthday to OBJ, because today is his birthday. So I just wanted to point that out. Happy birthday, OBJ. I'm not going to sing.
Today is his birthday. He got what
but
he
it
wanted.
is his birthday. So
Got what he wanted for his birthday.
happy birthday, bitches.
It's I don't know, with the Jarvis thing, like I think I think Jarvis wants to win more than anything. And
Right.
And I think that if he thinks this is the move for the team, he might think this is the best for the Browns and Odell Beckham Jr. You know, I mean, it's no, we're not going to talk about Dante Stallworth. Brian
Sternick in the house. What's up, Brian?
Dante Stallworth was the other person that killed somebody. in a car accident. That's about. He played for the Browns before. I believe it was before that happened,
Who
or
was
was it during? Was he playing for the Browns when that happened? Dante Stallworth when he killed somebody in the car accident down in
I
Florida.
don't know.
Oh, was that was like a few years ago, back when Hugh
That was a long
was.
time ago.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
who got in the car accident, ran somebody over or some shit when Hugh was coach? Some
Dan
other
Brown
guy.
Dan Brown said it was during. I believe him. I know it was yeah, he signed with the Browns in 08. I think that was I
And he
can't
killed
remember.
a man in '09. Sounds like a Johnny Cash song.
But yeah, he actually ended up playing football after.
Yeah, I saw that movie in The Longest Yard. That's when he played.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that real or is that a joke? I don't.
The Longest Yard, that prison movie where they played football.
Dante
I mean, it
Stallworth?
was a remake with Adam Sandler, but started off with
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Burt
oh
Reynolds.
my god, Burt Reynolds. Yeah,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah,
Braylon Edwards was drinking with him that night?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah. Yeah, he played for like two more teams after that. I want to say he only got 6 months.
That's
Something
crazy.
like that. And then like a bunch of probation, and I heard he did get his license revoked for life. But yeah,
You
Why
can
is that?
never drive again,
yeah,
ever,
yeah,
ever.
yeah. Like he got 45 days in jail. Dan Brown said. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, Ruggs will probably play again. I mean, he's only 22 years old. But there's also the factor that he's not really
I
that
got that for possession.
Right.
45 days. What the fuck?
I mean, Josh Gordon is going to get a chance to play again, I'm sure. So
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. I mean, killed the Browns, but
he made a massive plea deal with the guy's wife. What did he give him? A signed jersey, maybe a ball or two. That they did.
That'll help.
it was like the guy in Tampa Bay that got the Tom Brady 600 touchdown pass ball.
Yeah, you know, he had asked that all he wanted was to play a round of golf with Tom Brady. And they said
you serious?
no. Yeah, he did. He asked for that. They were like, "Nah, you're not getting that."
What a dick! What a dick!
I'd
Tom
be like,
Brady's
I need Tom Brady to come to my kid's birthday party, if at all possible.
He's like, I want to fuck Giselle. That's what I want. That's all I want. That's it. Just
Decent
one time.
proposal.
You know what I do? I would have Tom Brady come to a party or I was at or at a show, right? So like after I get off stage and I'm talking to somebody and Tom Brady would come up and go, "Hey Scott, that was a good show." And I'd be like, "Look, Tom Brady, I'm talking to this person. Could you get the fuck out of here, please?" Fucking Tom Brady. Always
it's-
interrupting me.
He's I don't know if we talked about this before, but I think we get totally off subject, but I think Tom Brady is definitely the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's never going to be like anybody's favorite quarterback of all time unless you're a Patriots or Buccaneers fan, because he's a dick. He's always been a dick.
I do like that he makes good commercials, though. Not as good as Peyton Manning.
No,
And
Peyton Manning is
Baker makes really good commercials, but
Yeah. Until Baker, I would say Peyton Manning was like the best, like personality wise quarterback in the NFL. Baker, I think, is the best like guy for commercials and shit, probably ever as far as the NFL goes. I can't think of anybody else that's funnier in commercials and shit as an NFL player than Baker Mayfield.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live when Peyton was on it?
Oh yeah,
that
but
was so
that's-
funny.
that's a
He's so good.
show. Yeah, that's a sketch comedy show. That's not fair.
All right,
Yeah,
let's get back to OBJ. I think.
Video of him playing catch with the kids is fucking.
Oh
great.
yeah, when he's out on the schoolyard hitting those kids.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about OBJ except for the like. I hope he does well in the NFC. That's what I'll say.
You know, I
I don't want to see him with the Chiefs or the Ravens.
Well, I don't want to see him with the Ravens.
Yeah,
I
I don't want to see him with the
definitely
Chiefs
do
either.
not, or anybody in our division. But you know what? I hope he finds some place that makes him happy. I mean, if New York doesn't make you happy, uh, I mean, have you been to Kansas City? There's fucking nothing in Kansas City.
Hey, he likes London, so maybe he should go to Jacksonville. You know?
Oh, do you think Jacksonville's going to move to London?
No, but they play there like once a year.
Right, but I think that I think they're going to have an expansion team in London at some point.
May I think if it is, they would move Jacksonville there, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really do think though that this will. I think that this will ignite the Browns. They've over the past couple years since they've had Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry. I think they have like kind of rallied in these type of situations where there's like big distractions around the team.
I'm all for more DPJ.
Yeah, he's back this week, so hopefully he can. Hopefully he's like full go and not limited, because I think he can really shine this week. And I think it's a decent matchup for the Browns, even though the Bengals are really good, because we kind of have like a good strength and weakness matchups with the Bengals. We're gonna have Malik Jackson and Malik McDowell back this week, and their center has given up more sacks than any center in the NFL. Myles Garrett in his career, anytime he's gone up against what is his name, Riley Leaf or whatever the hell their tackle's name is, he's like dominated him every time he's gone against them. It's just I think it's a good matchup because Joe Burrow has been the best quarterback in the league this year in a clean pocket, but he has not been very good under pressure. So
what's he at now? 10.5 sacks or something?
Miles,
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
10 and an eighth.
leading the league.
When he's not wearing a cape, he's at 10.5, I think.
You know what? Fuck those people that are talking shit about Miles wearing that cape. He deserved that shit. He played a hell of a game. It wasn't his fault that the offense couldn't score more than 15 points. I mean, I mean, I get it. Like he lost. Like you lose the game, you shouldn't be having fun. But fuck it, he played a hell of a game. Like I'm sorry. Like I don't understand that.
I mean, I loved seeing him, destroy that fat potato head Roethlisberger. I loved it. I mean, that was the highlight of my day. But that's sad when that's the highlight of my fucking day watching a Browns game.
Yeah. I wish he would have wore the mask to the press conference too. Just
that would have been good.
Yeah. Just been like, I don't want anybody to see my face right now. I'm ashamed.
Could have been me behind that mask. You don't know.
Yeah, but that was probably the most depressing walk out of the stadium I've ever had was this past.
That's right, you were there.
Yeah, it was probably the worst one I've ever had, and I've been to probably over 100 games since 99, and it was the worst one. It was just it literally I was joking with my buddy because we parked all the way over by Hilarities and
holy shit.
Yeah, we got there late and didn't want to pay $40 for parking if we weren't going to tailgate. So we parked all the way at the other end of the city and walking back, it was just like a horde of people walking down West 6th Street. And I was like, dude, this is like if like a huge Cleveland celebrity like LeBron James or something died and it was like the funeral procession for him. Like it was like it really had that feel to it. Like somebody died. Like it was so bad. I mean, I've never experienced that before.
You know who I feel bad for? All those people that have a Odell Beckham Jr. jersey.
I have a jersey T-shirt of Beckham Jr.
Oh my god!
which will now be an undershirt, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That's why, you know what, we were talking about that. I was going to tell you right before the show. That's why I don't buy any jerseys with people's names on them, man. You never know. You never know what really happens. You know, all these people that you hold as your heroes turns out to be dicks. You know, they
Yeah,
shit
Heard
on the
this
team you
guy-
leave so that they can get traded. You know,
There's
and then you got to
certain
wear
guys-
that.
There's certain
Well-
guys though that you can buy that are safe. Like Myles Garrett's not going anywhere. You can buy Myles Garrett jersey. Jarvis Landry, I feel like even if he leaves in 2 years when his contract's up, he's still like such a loved guy in Cleveland that you can still wear his jersey after he leaves, as long as he doesn't as long as he doesn't play in Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't know. I would rather just have I root for the Browns. I don't really, I mean, I like the players, but I root for the Browns.
Yeah, you gotta have some favorite players though. I mean,
Here's something you might not have heard, John, because you were at the game, but the broadcast mentioned that the Browns lead the NFL in penalty yardage. What do we make of that?
very uncharacteristic of like compared to last year. I mean, it's just we were one of the lowest teams in penalty yards last year.
Right.
So I don't
So what's going on? Are we getting a little lax with the discipline in the locker room? What's happening? You think?
know, man. I mean, they're adults. It's not like
No,
you-
I think the refs are calling some bullshit plays. First
I
of
agree
all,
with that.
I mean, when you look at the yards, right?
Yeah.
But so you get one penalty,
45.
right? But they tried to throw it 50 yards,
Right. I get that.
and then
But I mean, it is-
the receiver punches our guy in the face and stabs him, and then they call interference on us. That's ridiculous.
That's something I think needs to be changed this year in the league. Is after this year is the pass interference call. The spot foul thing is absolutely ridiculous. They don't do it in college anymore because it's a ridiculous penalty.
Yeah.
I think there should be something like they have in the NBA with breakaway fouls, where if it's like if it are clear path fouls, they call it, where like if you grab a guy because he's obviously got a clear path to the end zone, then I can see that being a spot foul. But if it's two guys fighting down the field, 45, 50 yards down the field, and you call pass interference on, just pick one of them to call pass interference on, and that team gets 45 yards, that's fucking
Right.
ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah. I hear you.
Me and
But I
Brown
mean,
bought
there-
a.
still
Oh, go
left.
ahead.
We got it. There's still 32 teams. I mean, I get there's a lot of bad calls, but there's still something there. I think that needs some
yeah.
Yeah.
fix.
Yeah, you don't end up with the highest for sure. I think a lot of it is too that we've had a lot of those are probably offsides and holding calls, which I think is probably to do with our injuries on the offensive line. I mean, that's
Harrison
something that probably
responsible
factors
for a
in.
lot of crap the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of pissed off with him lately. Were you
Who?
guys Harrison with his
Yeah. Well, he won't be playing.
his
this week.
what do they call that penalty? The personal foul crap.
Oh, you're talking about Rodney Harrison.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about James Harrison.
No. We're talking like current. We're in
No, what's his not James Harrison. What the fuck's the tackle's name? The backup tackle.
Mr.
That's been playing for,
Harris.
no, the one that's been playing for James Harris, maybe. The one that's been playing for
our safety. We're talking about our
Jeff
safety.
Nichols. Yeah.
He allowed the
But
winning touchdown too. The coverage was good, but I don't know.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm starting to think Brian Kenny has talked a lot on their podcast about not being a fan of Denzel Ward, and I'm starting to agree with him. And I mean, the coverage was so much better last week with Greg Newsome playing the number one
Hooper.
cornerback spot.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Hooper's on my nerves too lately. I mean, he could have. He's got to make better catches. Every time he catches the ball, he falls down.
Does somebody have the podcast playing on their phone?
I did a minute ago, but I turned it down. Why? I was just trying to see who was watching.
Because I keep hearing the fucking echo from it.
That was a few minutes ago. I'm just trying to see who was watching. I turned it all down. God damn.
No,
You know who I'm fucking aggravated with? OBJ. They should get rid of his ass.
Yeah.
Tired of that diva. God damn. Always bitching about not getting the ball. And then when they throw it to him, they put it right in his hands and he doesn't catch it. That's what at the end, you know what? If you caught everything that came to you, everything that Baker threw to you, you caught, and they just weren't getting it to you enough, I could see it. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you don't catch the shit that hits you in the hands, are you fucking kidding me? Is
That's
that a
one
joke?
thing. That's one thing that I never agree with the guy. I can't stand him. But on the TV in the break room at work today, that Stephen A. Smith was on, and he basically
that
said the
guy.
same thing. He was like, "Yeah." He's like, yeah, they're not getting them the ball, but you got to catch the ball when they get it to you. It doesn't
Right.
help. Yeah, and it's true.
Exactly.
You don't catch the ball, you're going to start losing targets. I mean, that's just
He
how
could
it
have
is.
had a touchdown in that game last week. I mean, Baker, he could have put it up high, but his effort, pissed me off.
Baker looked good last week, and he had a couple errant passes, but he had a lot of passes that hit guys in the hands that they didn't catch. And I don't care if the ball's a little bit behind you or if the ball's a little high. If it hits you in both hands, you should catch the damn ball. I mean, that's your wide receiver in the NFL.
Exactly. And you know what? If it is a little bit behind you, you have to catch it anyway. You know why? Because you're getting paid. You're getting paid,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but if it hits you in the hands, you should catch it. Now, I don't get paid to catch a ball.
No,
So
you
if the
don't.
ball hits me in the hands and I drop it, everybody's like, ah, what a dick. So, I get it. But no,
Yeah.
hit
Dan
you right in the numbers, catch the ball.
Dan Brown's talking about that he bought a Peyton Hillis shirt.
And I bought Madden when Peyton.
Can't believe
Hillis
he was
on
on
it.
Madden.
So
That has to be the
we're
worst
both
Madden.
goofballs.
Madden,
Yeah.
please.
That just showed the the dedication of Browns fans, and that's something else I wanted to talk about that Brian Kenny also talked about on their podcast this past week. We have this misconception of having the best fans in sports, and I disagree. Our fans fucking suck. They really do. Like we might have like dedicated hardcore fans that'll go to all the games and shit, but they're the worst fucking fans. I mean, dude,
Come on.
I'm dead serious, dude. I saw people coming out of that game last week. Like, Jarvis Landry fucking sucks. Blah, blah. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because he dropped 2 fucking balls in one game after he's been like the highlight of our offense for the past 3 years. You're gonna say Jarvis Landry sucks because he had one bad fucking game? I mean, it just like
well, don't forget for the fumble. I mean, he had 2 drops and a fumble.
right, but still, it's one bad game. And then you have the fuckheads that always sit behind me and talk about Baker Mayfield that just
Do they talk about how efficient he is?
talk about how efficient fucking Case Keenum is. Yeah, because you're a better scout. You're a better scout than
Right.
every other NFL team who's watched him start 64 games and decide he's not worthy of a starting job in the NFL. You're a better talent evaluator than all of those people. Like it fucking drives me nuts. I'm so glad we don't have a home game for 3 more weeks. Like it has been these 3 weeks in a row going to home games have just been brutal. I mean, like I always have the dumbest people sit behind me. It's the worst. It is the worst. Like just people that don't know shit about football that are talking like they did. Like it just drives me nuts. And then you'll hear
Right, but how is it not fun? I mean, I had a great time.
yeah, we
I'll
had a
tell
great
you that right
time.
now.
We did have a great time.
Come out,
That
John.
was
Call him
awesome.
out.
Yeah.
Talk shit back to him. Tell him to get the fuck
Oh,
out
I
of here.
do. We were
Yeah?
when W. Scott and I went to the game. We were we were taking the things they were saying and then screaming them
And then
out,
yelling them out loud.
and it was pretty fun. That was a fun time.
That's
But
great.
no, man. I got a quick story, real quick, and then we'll move on. There was this guy sitting behind me last week, Steelers fan, who claimed that he was a celebrity. That's the first thing he said whenever he walked into his seat, and said that he was on the Netflix show Too Hot to Handle, which is a dating show that nobody watches. And I looked him up, and he's not even on that show. He was lying. And he had a Steelers jersey on, and his white undershirt was showing underneath like his Steelers jersey, and it had like 30 fucking holes in his white undershirt. And he was talking shit, and I forget what it was, but he bet me something. And I was like, he tried to bet me something. He's like, I'll bet you $100,000. And I was like, if you had $100,000, you think you could buy an undershirt without holes in it?
You wouldn't be sitting behind me here at the stadium.
Right.
And then this dude, I had another Browns fan take up for me, which I didn't need. I could have roasted the guy for a good 10 minutes. But this guy said you don't even have $100,000 to me. And this guy behind me who had seen my shoes was like those shoes that he's got on cost more than anything that you have on your body. And it felt so good. It's like, yeah, fuck you, piece of shit. No, other than that, Steelers fans were not that bad at the game.
Was there a big showing of them? Last
Yeah,
time I went to the Steelers
unfortunately.
game, we were outnumbered.
Damn, Brown. I'm a dry bar celebrity.
I should do that the next time. That's a good idea. I like that. I'm going to go there at the end.
Yeah.
Wait.
Might get a funny stop tonight and start signing autographs. We'll see what happens. I don't
Is
know.
Charlie Wiener out there tonight?
Yep.
Wow. The only guy with a worse last name than me. So
Yeah. Do you guys see real quick? Do you guys see the Aaron Rodgers thing?
what? That he got COVID after he told everybody he got immunized holistically. You know,
So he went on I think it's called the Pat McAfee show, and talked, and he said that he was like, I'm not an anti-vax flat earther or anything. He was like, I did a lot of research. I love these people with their research. And he said that he's allergic to an ingredient in the mRNA vaccines, which is why he didn't get that one. And then he heard the adverse effects of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which only happened in women over 40. So
yeah, I have a whole joke about that.
yeah,
So.
yeah. But my thing is with the Aaron Rodgers thing, and why I wanted to bring it up is because of the way that the NFL is not equal in their discipline, their enforcement, or anything. We've seen that with penalties with the Browns, but the rule is if you're not vaccinated, you have to put a mask on when you go back to the sideline. You have to wear a mask in all of the facilities. And Aaron Rodgers hasn't been doing any of that, and the league has said nothing about it. And it's just, I don't know if somehow they thought he was, there's no way they thought he was vaccinated because he appealed to the league for his like alternative way of getting immunized. I didn't even know that was a fucking word, but apparently it is.
They rubbed some rocks and sticks on them and
yeah, I just see it's bullshit.
Danced around them in the light of a fire. I mean, that's a way a lot of people
because
get
he's Aaron
vaccinated
Rodgers.
nowadays.
Because he's Aaron Rodgers, they just let it go. You know,
so he has COVID and he's immunized. What?
Well, I mean, you can still get COVID if you get immunized. When you know,
yeah,
you put the vaccine.
Because getting immunized is not a fucking thing. It's not like it's not.
You get
It's-
vaccine, it's
You get immunities. I don't know if you got immunized. Immunized makes
immunized is
yeah,
a word.
immunized. Immunized makes it sound like you got like fucked with COVID or something. You know, like you just got like fucked with antibodies.
Sounds like you had a procedure done. Yeah, I just went in and got immunized.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sounds like something that goes up your ass. I don't know.
Whoa.
You got
Is
immunized.
that how you get it? That's one thing I would be against. Be like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't take that. They put it in my ass. So I'm going to say no.
Wait, the vaccine's a depository? What?
Wait a minute. The vaccine is 7 inches long and 3 inches in diameter. Nah, I'm going to have to pass on that.
Mandated.
Man. Yeah.
I got to keep it in for an hour. Nah, I don't think so.
If that was what the vaccine was, I could see people being like, "This is
Yeah,
bullshit.
like I could be upset
I'm gonna
about that.
quit my job." Yeah.
I could lead a parade if that was the vaccine. I mean, I'm not against some people getting it. If that's their prerogative, that's their choice. But
For the greater
I would
good.
have to stand out.
Come on, Scott.
Yeah. I mean, I would
Greater
still
good.
get it, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
I would definitely do it in a dark alley where nobody could see me behind a dumpster. I mean, that's where I would get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how some people get vaccinated anyways, I think. That's what I've heard. Teddy Bruno said he got his in the parking lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cheesecake.
All right. You guys have any predictions about the Browns Bengals game or have anything else to add?
Yeah. It's going to be Bengals 34, Browns 17.
Ooh, what?
Wow. Hater.
I've been
You
on
gotta
a
get
hater. That's
quarter-
if you're asking me for realism, that's realistic. That's what's going to happen.
There we go, Dan Brown. That's what I'm talking about.
Dan Brown's drinking already.
Yeah.
He knows that's not
Dan
happening.
Brown doesn't drink, sir.
Oh,
He is
well,
sober.
then what is he on? Because that's not going to happen. He might have immunized himself. I don't know what's going
He
on.
might have
over
immunized himself.
Mm.
What's that I sat on?
I'm only going to sit on this thing 4 or 5 more times.
Barry, what do you think, man?
I think it's gonna be high scoring, man. I'm a little nervous about it, to be honest, but
Yeah.
they got that poor offensive line. I think if we just get the pressure on them, pound the ball. We need to run the ball. We never had a game where we just come out running all day, and so I'm gonna call. It's gonna be high scoring, 45-42 Browns.
Yeah. I don't
Right,
know, man.
Leo?
You gotta think about this for a minute.
Get on the show.
Leo's trying to get on the show.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. What do you guys? I'll think. I mean, I think the Browns are gonna win. I just don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the score. That I think it was the 2007 game. 51-45 Browns. I think it's gonna be one of those. I think it's gonna be one of those, like maybe like 49-48. You know,
What's Dan mean by crack? What's crack?
I think he meant he was on.
That's what he's on when he came up with that 42-22.
Oh,
I think it is going to be high scoring, but
I think it will be high scoring for the Bengals.
God
But
damn you.
I mean, I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't think that with all this shit that's going on, I mean, at least Stefanski doesn't have to pull out that bullshit line of, well, we got to do better getting OBJ the ball. I got to do better. He doesn't have to worry about that now. I mean, everybody can get their answer. If Baker's better off without OBJ, he can just throw it to where he's supposed to, and everybody's going to be there.
Well, we
But
thought
at
last
the end of
week
the
was-
day, I mean, I don't think that they gel. I think they're all discombobulated, which is a 5-syllable word. and yeah, I think they're gonna go out down there and shit the bed because this is a desperate must-win game. Just like last week was a desperate must-win game. There's no reason they should have lost to the fucking Steelers.
You're right, man. Amen.
I agree with that, but I don't think you're right about this game. I think they're going
I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
yard too.
And I'll be sad if I'm right. If I turn out to be right, I will be devastated.
Yeah,
My heart will be crushed. Yet again.
I think we're winning. I think we're winning like 13 in a row.
Yeah,
Putting odds on that because I got
Trying
some
to-
money, man, right over
Trying to be
here.
positive, man.
I'm gonna get a Super Bowl tattoo.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
with you, man. Wing.
This week we start going 12-0.
Yep.
So
All right, guys. We'll get out of here. We'll see you next week. Everybody have a good weekend.
All right.
I don't have any
Wow.
shows this weekend, so just have a good weekend.
yeah, you're on a show this weekend.
Well, yeah.
So speaking of that, new episode of the Shed Show is going to be dropping tomorrow around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, maybe noon, depends. But right in there, we drop a new episode of the Shed Show, and Mr. John Brown's going to come out and help us out filming tomorrow. So it'll be a good show.
Oh, that's live?
Well, it's not live. We don't do anything live. Jesus Christ. That's
Okay.
terrible.
All right.
Just this.
All right. Later, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.